Hi everyone, Kathleen here from Kath's Relic Revival. Just thought I'd show you the project that I'm going to get started on today in the workshop. I've been sick for a couple of days, so haven't created anything, but I've been busy dreaming up what I wanted to do with these, so I'm going to try something I've never done before with them, and I'm excited to get started. These are a pair of really great tables. They're beautiful bedside tables or end tables. Either one would be great. They're a little bit on the low side, so if you have a really high bed, then probably wouldn't make the best bedside table, but if you don't, they'd be great for that. They've got a nice big drawer in each of them. It looks like a double drawer, but it's not. It's a single drawer in each. Someone's puppy had a good chew on these ones, so I'll be doing some sanding, getting them ready to go. But I'm going to do the finishing in rosewater and cashmere, which will be quite a lovely combination. And then I'm going to add some gold leaf, and we're going to do a little bit of fun, adventurous things with them. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. When I'm going to start a project, first thing I do is lay out a rough plan of what I'd like to do with the furniture. Now, that doesn't mean that's always the way it turns out. Sometimes I change my mind partway through. But generally, I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to do when I get started. One step that some people skip over is before sanding, you really should clean the furniture. You don't want to drive the oils and whatever's on the furniture further into the wood. So I use my Fusion Mineral Paint TSP alternative. It is a phosphate-free organic degreaser. It's absolutely incredible. 2 capfuls into a liter of water. I just keep a spray bottle on the go that I've marked, so I know it's not just plain water. And then you just want to give your furniture a good spray. So what I'll do is I'll spray it all over. I'll let it sit just a couple minutes, and then I'll wipe it back. And one of the great things about the TSP alternative from Fusion is that it doesn't have to be rinsed. So if you've used regular TSP, you know the rinsing can be a pain. So this is amazing. So let it sit, wipe it off with a clean cloth, and then I'll scuff sand it, and then I'll clean it one more time. Then I can get started with the fun stuff. All right, these have been cleaned with TSP alternative for the first go around. Just a quick wipe down to get the surface sort of dirt and grease and oil and such off of them. You can see how shiny this is on the top, so I'm gonna have to give it a really good scuff sand and knock that shine off of it, and that gives the Fusion Mineral Paint something to adhere to then. If we try to go right on top of a glossy surface, we're not gonna get a good adhesion, and the paint job is not gonna last you as long. So there is no reason why Fusion Mineral Paint job on a piece of furniture shouldn't last you forever, as long as the surface is prepared properly. Now, if this was laminate, I would use an Ultra Grip on it, the Fusion Mineral Paint Ultra Grip, before I painted to give the paint something to bite into. But this is real wood, just needs a good scuff sand, get that shine off of it. And of course also here, where when I bought it from the lady, she said that her puppy really had a good chew on it when he was teething. So I'm just gonna sand that. I'll just take an old sanding block with a piece of sandpaper on there. And you can see just as I get started, already it's smoothing out. So that's what I need to do. I don't need to even the surface out. This color can stay there. It just needs to be smooth. So when I paint it, it's not looking lumpy and bumpy like it is right now. All right, so I have scuff sanded with a 220 grit, gotten the shine off of this. Okay, you can see that, smoothed out those edges. They're not perfect. I don't want to fill them. I don't like putting filler right on the edges of things, just because I find they can get knocked and the chunk can fall out, unless I use Bondo, which I don't want to mix up just for a tiny little space like that. So that's okay. It's going to have a little bit of a weathered look to it, and that'll be fine. But now the prep is done. Took me probably about an hour and a half to do the prep, and ready for the fun stuff. Now I get to start painting. So I'm working on getting my pattern in here that I want. I've got some really fun stuff to do for the top still. But what I'm doing here for the edges and the legs is I'm going to blend the cashmere and the rosewater. The cashmere turned out to be the perfect color, so I stuck with that. So I'm going to hit it with my little mister bottle, and then just take my big fluffy brush that I have here and just work it in a little bit here, just so we don't have a hard edge up here between the pink and the creamy color. There we go. And you can see, here we go. easy peasy blending. Just need a spray bottle. Need your paint to still be workable, not really wet, but just workable. So don't let it sit overnight. And a fluffy brush. And you can just blend up the paint, and it looks so nice. I've already done those legs there. That's already blended there. So you can see the tops. Got some fun stuff on the go. So you can see it's coming together very nicely on the tops and along the front. I've already gone in and done some blending with my fluffy brush across the drawers and the front legs. I will be doing a little bit more. I'm thinking I probably am going to need another coat of the cashmere over the top, so which will then wrap along the front of the drawer on these guys, and then I will finish the blending there, and then can't wait to do the treatment on the top. It's looking good. All right, so I've left these overnight, back on the next day, and what I really do like to do, especially if I'm going to add a third coat, which I am going to do to these, I want to give that paint just a little bit of time for all the moisture to evaporate. A lot of furniture purists will tell you that you need to wait longer than that. I do find with Fusion I've had really good luck with either painting 2 coats in one day, or waiting a sort of about 24 hours or so to paint a third coat. And it really has worked well for me adhesion wise. Now, before I get that third and final finishing coat on, what I'm gonna do is wet sand. So I've got an incredibly fine grit sanding sponge here. I sell them in the store, they're just a few dollars. And they are sort of between 800 and 1,000 grit. So not even as rough as an emery board. And what this is going to do is just help get these little brush strokes out. You see where I was a little thick with the paint here? It's going to help get those brush strokes out and just make it all feel incredibly smooth. And then what I'll do is put a very fine, thin top coat on, the last coat of each color. And then once that has dried, I'll go in, add my gold leaf that I want to do. Gonna give that a day, and then I'll put a top coat on. So all I do when I'm wet sanding, some people like to get their sponge wet and sort of squeeze it out and use it. For me, I actually just find that I just use my mister, and we'll just do a light mist. Okay. And you don't want to do a lot of pressure. You want to be fairly gentle with it, and it's just going to start taking those little lines out. So just in the spot right here, you can see where it's already starting to come. Right? And if you have a little run in your paint or anything like that, this will do the trick for you. So you don't have to get in there and really rough something up, and then you end up with an uneven surface. This is going to really do it for you. So see right here, we've lost all those brush strokes. So I've got a few more here to work on, but they'll come away quite quickly. You don't need to get them all out. When you get that very last thin coat on, it's going to settle in. Fusion is a self-leveling paint, so it will settle in and give you a nice flat surface. So here we go. I've got my paint here. And I'm just going to go along. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. Just want a nice bold gold division here that will be able to fill in any gaps from when I put the gold leaf in. All right, these are now ready to sit and dry just a little bit, and then I will grab my decoupage and transfer gel from Fusion. I'll coat over where those gold lines are, and then I will smush some gold leaf into it. And once that's dry, we'll give it a little brush off to get the loose pieces off, and then I will top coat everything a couple of times just to make sure that gold leaf is really protected. And you can see I decided to do a little pedicure and give these two beauties some gold feet. All right, here we go, the part I've been waiting for. I've got some Fusion decoupage and transfer gel. I have my gold leaf. I'm not using full sheets because I want a flakier look, so these are like gold leaf flakes. By the end of this, there will be gold leaf stuck to everything because that's what happens. I have just a small sort of fluffy brush here, and I'll use to add the transfer gel in here. I'll do small sections at a time because I don't want anything to dry up. So what I will do is grab some transfer gel, and this dries clear, by the way. This stuff is amazing. You can use it for decoupage, for transferring pictures, even just top coating things. It really works great. All right, so you'll see there, I've just painted some on here, and I want to make sure that I'm really getting good coverage in there so I can stick those things on. All right, I'll just do one here with the camera because I definitely need both hands. But, all right, so see how it just sticks right in there like that. Then when it's all dry, I'll go through and I'll brush off the excess. Oh man, gold leaf for days. You can't even see it, but it's floating around in the air in here. Anyone who knows me really well may know that I like to whistle while I work. And I always forget when I'm doing anything with gold leaf that I really can't be whistling, so I don't know how many times I blew it away as I was doing it. But here we go. Believe it or not, this is really what we want to look for when we're piling it all on. So you see there's lots of loose pieces. You can see I can even kind of touch them with my finger here and some of them come up. But what we're going to do is we're going to let that completely dry. And so those will be nice and stuck on there. And then I'll just come through with a clean paintbrush and brush away all the excess. And, you know, continue to really fill my workshop with gold leaf. All right, here comes the messy part, but really the fun part. So we're just gonna go in and just brush off all the loose pieces. Can you see the gold snow? And then if you find you have any empty spots, like I see I've got one here. Can you see that there? No, not overly noticeable because I did that gold behind it first. But what I'll do, once I have it all brushed off and cleaned up, I'll go in with a little bit more of the transfer gel, put that in there, add a little more gold leaf to those empty spots. Here they are, all finished. The process has been completed. They're so pretty, just delicate looking. They're beautiful. See, I've lined the drawers as well. And you can see the pretty little gold pedicure on each leg. That gorgeous gold leaf. And it's, when you feel it, it's definitely textured, but it's not super lumpy. Would not interfere with you placing a glass on the table or anything. Although I am a big fan of coasters, so that's always the best idea. There we go. Gorgeous. And they are available for sale here in the store for $175 for the pair of them. Come on in, have a look at them. They're really gorgeous.